Welcome to Library Out Loud, a conversation about any and all things related to the Spokane County Library District. Library Out Loud is brought to you by the Spokane County Library District and our friends at STCU. Now, here's your host, Jane Baker.
Hello and welcome to Library Out Loud. I'm Jane Baker, the Communication and Development Director for the Spokane County Library District. Joining me today is Gwendolyn Haley. Hello, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is the Library Service Manager, just one of our Library Service Managers at the County Library District. And also joining us today is Kevin Benson.
Hi.
Kevin's the Director of Development from the Mobius Science Center and Mobius Children's Museum.
That's right.
Whew, long
That's right.
titles for
It
all of
is.
us.
That's
right.
Glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us today. I know this is pre-recorded, but today was a snowy day, and thank you for braving the weather and getting
bet.
down here today. We're talking about some exciting things happening. We have a new partnership between the Spokane County Library District and Mobius.
Right.
Yes, and that's what we're here to talk about today. The partnership, what that entails, is this great idea that you had a while back, right?
Well, it's something that's been percolating for a while.
Percolating.
And so I was really excited when I had a chance to talk with Kevin, and he caught the vision and jumped on board, and we were able to do something together that I think is really exciting for families in our community.
Yes, very exciting. So, well, let's reveal it for
Yeah.
anybody watching or
Yeah,
listening.
well, the idea that Gwendolyn approached us with, which we absolutely love, was that Mobius and the county library would partner to make passes available to all library patrons. So you can go to any of the Spokane County libraries,
Yes.
and you can check out a pass to come to Mobius Children's Museum and Science Center
That's
for
fantastic.
free.
How
and
cool
come
is
check it out.
that?
Yeah, it's
How
really
cool is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so great. And I think in Spokane, we have a large geographic county that we serve, and I think a lot of times there are people who aren't aware of all of the amazing things that are available in
Yes.
Spokane for them. And I know, being a North Side person myself, sometimes we have a psychological barrier to crossing the river
Right.
into
Yep.
the downtown
To
area.
coming downtown,
And,
yeah.
but it's so worth it, and we, as we talked about, we really thought this was a great way to make more families aware of the tremendous resource and the fun that's available at the Science Center and the Children's Museum, but also just the educational opportunities. And then for families that the admission seems like it could be kind of steep for a larger family, and
Sure.
if they've not been, and this is a great way to try it out and see what's there and see the value
Yeah.
for their families, and decide that that's something they maybe want to invest in themselves in the future and continue to support.
Yeah.
So that's the win-win for everybody. It's a win for Mobius, more people coming to visit, and for families in our community getting access to another resource
Yeah.
to help their kids learn and grow and develop.
And it makes, for us, it makes perfect sense from a mission perspective. I think the Spokane County Library and Mobius Spokane, our missions align so
Absolutely,
well.
yes.
You know, and so giving folks access to educational opportunities and resources and experiences, is a mission I think that we both share. And so it was a natural partnership and something that we're really, really excited to do. And we're excited to see, who's able to take advantage of it and how many people come down. So
Yes, so are we. So the details.
Yeah.
The passes are available
Yes.
Right.
at all 11 of our libraries, and you can't put them on hold or reserve them ahead of time. You have to go into the library and actually check it out.
Yes.
And you can check it out for 7 days, and it's good for 1 day of entry during that 7-day period to
Right.
both the Mobius Science Center
Right.
and the Mobius Children's Museum.
correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
How awesome.
Yeah, and the pass also covers a whole family. So we want, whole families to be able to come down and experience it. So not just for one person, but we want people to bring their whole families
Sure,
down.
sure.
Come down, experience both the Science Center and the Children's Museum together as a family and check it out. And if it's something that, you want to continue to come down and keep doing, that's what we want. We want people to come and experience it and see what it's like for them and their families and their kids. So
Yeah, that's great. Now, I think the cost of admission to Mobius is very reasonable.
It is.
But as you said, if you have 2 adults and 2 kids, it can add up after a while. So this is a perfect way
Yeah.
to get the whole family in, which is something that may have been a barrier in the past.
Right.
I think
So
Yes.
great.
And I think too, Mobius has been so generous because not only is it 2 adults and up to 4 children in a family, but the pass you could use with both locations in the same day. Which, if you've got a family like mine with some teenagers
Right.
and some younger kiddos, it's nice to be able to say we're going to do something for everybody in one day. And especially on a day like today where the weather's inclement.
Yes.
And we had actually come downtown to do something different. It wasn't available because of the snow. We just popped across the street
Right.
to the Science Center for the afternoon and had a fantastic time as a family. And my husband and I were talking about it, and we could have gone to a movie and actually had not as rich an experience as a family
Sure.
as we did just playing together at
Sure.
the Science Center for a couple hours.
Right.
It was well worth the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were first talking about this program, we met down at the Science Center,
Yeah.
and I'm a little older than you are, Gwendolyn. My child is, long past the age of taking him places and doing things like this. But the Science Center didn't exist when I had him. And so when we had those meetings a couple months ago, it was my first time going into the Science Center. Here I am,
Yeah.
an adult with no kids. So I was in there and I was thrilled. I was having a blast, more fun than probably the kids were having.
Yeah, no,
and I remember asking you, can just adults come in
Oh,
here?
yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think that's a little word that has to get out as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
our goal is really to be a community resource, and part of the kind of the blessing and the curse of being of starting as a children's museum, and Mobius Children's Museum has been around now for almost 15 years.
Yes.
And the Science Center is still very young. We've only been in our current location for 18 months.
Yeah.
So people are still getting to know us.
Sure.
But we are an educational resource, but we want it to be for the entire community. And we encourage adults to come down, for an afternoon, pop in on your lunch hour and check stuff out. We're
great.
always updating. We try to update our exhibits as often as possible and move new things in and have new experiences for people. So it's a great thing to do for your family, but it's not just for kids either. It's really for everyone. We're building it for our whole community.
Yeah, a very, very enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
Now, the location you're at right now, we said only 18 months.
Yep.
And that's right across from the new ice ribbon.
Right.
Okay, just
Yep.
making sure everybody knew where it was.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right on Post, next to City Hall and across from the new ice ribbon. And we wanted to be as close to Riverfront Park and River Park Square and downtown as possible. So there's
Perfect.
parking options all around. It's easier to get to, I think, than people think. There's been some construction downtown for
Sure.
a while.
Yeah.
So I think people are worried. But there's lots of parking at River Park Square and to the north of us and near the new ice ribbon. And it's easy to just pop in and say hi. Check
Yes.
us out.
Perfect.
And it's so great. And I really love, there's some really great, everything is a hands-on exhibit, I should say. And I got a kick out of watching the grown-ups who would kind of be still engaged with, the kids would kind of wander off to a different thing, but the grown-up with them would keep working on the rocket they were building or some, and there's some, you should talk about some of the cool things that you have going on right now. There's some great exhibits that are so engaging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what you pointed to is perfect. We really do. We really value hands-on interactive learning experiences. And so in our Science Center right now, one of the things that we've had that's been very popular is an exhibit called Cardboard Construction. You know how at Christmas time and in the holidays when you give someone gifts and oftentimes the kids end up playing with the box more than they end up
Yes.
playing with the gift itself.
Yes.
We noticed that. And so we've partnered actually with a couple of businesses in Spokane. Spokane Packaging is our partner for this, and they give us cardboard, and we encourage our guests to create something out of cardboard. So we have little kits to make things like robots or cars or things like that. So people can come in and actually do what we've done for years, which is create stuff out of cardboard. And they can take it home with them, and we can display it there in the Science Center.
Yeah.
So it's really, really fun to see how that has grown. But Gwendolyn, what you said was right. Everything that we do at both the Children's Museum and the Science Center is designed around what's a hands-on learning experience that we can give kids here, and that actually extends to our field trips and our camps and our classes. Something that we do quite a bit of that we're trying to let people know more about is we do birthday parties and camps and classes for children and for students. And folks can design their own experiences with that. So one of the ones that's actually very popular at the Science Center is something that I think those of us of a certain age might remember, is dissections. We will have folks that come in. It sounds kind of funny, but people will come in for a birthday party, and they will do a scientific dissection of a squid or a cow eyeball.
Jane,
Now,
when
I
is your
know.
birthday?
Yeah, right. Like, that's not something
I
that
want to dissect a cake.
I know, right? Yeah, like that would be more fun. Give me a cake to dissect, or a really delicious, meal. But there are some folks in our community that haven't had that experience.
Sure.
Depending on what school you attend or the access to those kinds of things.
Yes, yes.
And so to come in and have a birthday party where you get to really just play for the whole day in the Science Center, and then a small group get to do things like dissections. So dissection is just one example, but there's all of these different experiences that we want to offer and are excited to offer, and we have educators, certificated teachers who can lead those experiences for people. And there are some folks that's the perfect thing, a birthday party where you get to take your sons or daughters or grandchildren to a Science Center and have some cake and dissect a squid. People really, and it's really great. It's
A
really
memorable birthday,
Absolutely.
for sure. Yeah.
Well, I have to
Absolutely.
say, the staff at the Science Center and at the Children's Museum are so great. I have an 8-year-old who asks literally a million questions an hour, and her daddy and I are exhausted answering questions. So it was really fun to go over to the Science Center, and she was just rattling off question after question like she does because she wants to know, to one of the staff there, and I can't remember his name, but he was so great, so patient with her, took the time, was showing her the stuff, answering her questions, asking her really great engaging questions. And I do children's engagement is one of my things that's in my wheelhouse, and he really knocked my socks off. I thought, what a great example of just engaging with kids right where they're at, in the mode where they're learning, and creating a teachable moment.
Yeah.
And it was so, and I learned a few things too.
Sure.
Always a good
Yeah,
thing.
right.
But and that's true of all the staff there. And then we got a chance to watch one of the science shows because we were there on a Saturday afternoon, and you had a couple of science shows going on the day. They were fantastic. It was so engaging, really fun. It was a loud air cannon. What's not to love about that?
Loud things and kind of
they
scary
fired a
things.
ping pong ball with enough force that it crumpled a tin can.
Oh, cool.
Just with air pressure.
Very cool.
It was
Well,
awesome.
and that what you're just pointing to, and thank you. We are absolutely thrilled. Our biggest asset is the staff that we have at Mobius. We absolutely love them, and we search for really amazing people. And what you're just pointing to, I think, is a perfect example of where our missions line up so well. Because when patrons come into the library, they're not just looking for a book or a title to check out. They're looking for resources. They're looking for wanting to answer their questions and those kinds of things. And so the library exists as a place to be a resource, to get information, and to have an experience. And that's exactly what Mobius is about, is giving our patrons that experience as well. So
Yes. And in fact, our missions line up so well that we have a photo from
that's right.
Mobius on the cover of our new program guide. And this is great. It's just perfect. The perfect marriage of museum and library together. Well, now, I know you have a lot of great things going on at the museum, and some exhibits that you have currently, and more of them coming up. We're going to have to take a quick break, and then let's come back and talk about more about what you got going in 2018 at the Science Center and the museum.
Sounds great.
You're listening to Library Out Loud.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at Breakthrough Incorporated. Breakthrough takes great pride in mentoring their DDA clients who have intellectual disabilities and their BRS clients who have challenging behaviors toward the creation of safe, appropriate, ethically sound life goals. They integrate programs at school and home to enrich their lives. They work hard to make a positive difference in you and your family's lives. Breakthrough provides a highly structured, fully staffed residential setting in local neighborhoods. 6 in Spokane and 2 in the Tri-Cities. Diagnoses affect people differently, so their service to each resident is unique, giving them the opportunity to grow and evolve. For more information on Breakthrough, visit their website at breakthroughincorporated.org.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
And welcome back to Library Out Loud. I'm Jane Baker with Spokane County Library District, along with
Is your
Gwendolyn
child
Haley,
having
also
trouble
with the Library
coping with
District,
personal
and Kevin
disability?
Benson with the
But-
Mobius
Hi.
Science Center and Mobius Children's Museum. Welcome again. We're talking about the new Museum Pass program that we have going on at the library and all the exciting things that are happening at Mobius. What do you have on exhibit right now?
So at Mobius Science Center, well, I'll tell you about both. At Mobius Science Center, we just opened a new exhibit called Moneyville, which is really interesting. It's sponsored by Numerica Credit Union here in Spokane, and it is an experience about money, where it comes from, how it's used, how it is produced, and how it can be counterfeited. So there's really interesting a whole bunch of different experiences, different kinds of money based on cultures and geography. There's a culture in part of the world that still uses stones. They're called yap stones, huge, like 30-pound stones, is
Wow.
a form of currency and then it talks about the history of money, and then there's an area where you can investigate counterfeit bills, and we have an exhibit that shows what $1 million bills would look like all stacked up.
Wow.
So Moneyville is at the Science Center right now, and at the Children's Museum we have opened an exhibit called Build It, which is really what it sounds like. We invite our guests to come in and build stuff. So there are kits for building forts. We actually went and we got, remember how you used to build a fort in your living room with couch cushions and things like that? We went and we got sheets donated to us, bed sheets that people can build forts with. We have cardboard boxes that are, you can build a huge house out of. We have what we're calling adult-sized Lincoln logs, where you can build something that's almost as big as a cabin out of these plastic logs.
Oh, awesome.
And so Build It is at the Children's Museum, and Moneyville is one of the exhibits at the Science Center. And, like we mentioned earlier, they're very hands-on, very interactive. And here's what's a great experience about both of those is oftentimes we'll have parents or grandparents come in with their children, and they'll be like, well, I'll just sit over here and watch, and I'll let them play. And maybe after about 5 or 10 minutes, we'll notice that mom and dad, grandma and grandpa are on the floor building the fort, or they're interacting with the exhibit. It's like you were saying, Jane, like, they're so interactive, you can't help yourself but want to be involved.
Yes.
And that's our goal.
Yes. Oh, those sound like a lot of fun. Now,
Yeah.
how long is Moneyville at the Science Center?
Moneyville will be here through the first quarter of the year, so through the end of March.
Okay.
And Build It is actually on its the last few weeks. It's going to go away in February. So just a few more weeks.
Good to know.
Yeah, but we've got some exciting things coming. At the Children's Museum in the second quarter, we will have an exhibit called The Art of Light. And it is really actually, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's interactive around things like how light works. And the interactive parts will be how do light and color work. So we'll have opportunities for people to make shadow puppets and to use different colored prisms. And there's a couple of things that glow. So we have a couple of exhibits that actually involve water and black lights and how we treat water, and water glows and how it moves and how light moves. So it'll be a really cool experience.
That
and,
sounds fun.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
really fun. And then later this year, probably the middle of the year in the Science Center, we have an exhibit called Matter Splatter, which is just a big, messy ball of fun. It's all about how matter is created and what that looks like and what's solid, what's liquid, what's gas, and how does matter change its state. So we'll let people melt stuff and splatter stuff around, and all contained inside the exhibit. So it's really, really cool and really, really fun. We like to make messes and blow things up. It's a lot of fun.
What better thing to do is make messes and blow things
know.
up and then take your kids somewhere where that happens. You don't have to clean it up.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's not in your kitchen or living room, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
The light one sounds spectacular.
It's really cool.
I can't wait to see that one.
It's based on, it's the idea that we interact with light all day long. And how often do we just walk into a room and flip on a light switch? We don't really even think about it.
Yes.
And you don't notice that you do that until the power has gone out.
Sure.
So it's this idea of, how is light used? How is light shaped? And what does shadows look like? So shadow puppets, and there are some young kids that maybe have never made a shadow puppet, using different colors and shapes and making shadows or making designs with light and color and prisms and things like that. And so the idea of the art and light and how you can use light and sunlight and artificial light to create things that are really beautiful. So it'll be really, really fun, but also very simple and very hands-on for anybody who wants to play.
Very
So,
exciting.
Yeah.
Now, you had also mentioned a couple other things earlier, birthday parties. Okay, so call and reserve a birthday party, or how does
Yep.
that work?
It's
Are
very
you the
simple.
only party in the whole place, or are you sharing the space? Or
Yep. So at both locations we have a separate space. So at Children's Museum we have a separate room, and at the Science Center you would reserve kind of what we call the lab, which is a separate room. And the parties usually last anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Wow.
You just call usually about a week in advance, minimum, and let us know how many. And we take care of everything for you, your admission, the program, and if there is a specific activity you'd like to do, you just let us know. That all can be a part of it as well.
wow, what a great
Yeah,
idea!
It's really great. And it's one of
Yeah.
those things that, my kids are the age where birthday parties are a big deal. So, do we go to movies? Do we go out to eat? That kind of thing. And Mobius, we can take care of all of it for you. We can even, if you need it, we have some partnerships with folks that can give us cakes or ice cream or things like that.
Very nice.
And so that can just be a part of the package. And we have different birthday experiences. So at the Children's Museum we have, I think, what's called a superhero experience. And so it's all kind of superhero themed. And then some of the activities we do and the crafts that we do are based around superheroes and things like that.
Wow.
It's a full one-stop shop for birthday parties, and it's really great and really fun for people. So.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
And then the camps. You mentioned camps
Oh,
earlier.
yeah, great. Thank you for asking. So every month we have different camps and classes. And so at the Children's Museum, we have what are called our Toddler and Me classes, which are designed for parents with kids between the ages of 3 and 6. And it's fun. The parents come with their young ones and they do a craft together that's led by one of our staff. And then you can go home with something really, really fun. So over the holidays, for example, we made snowmen. We made different reindeer holiday crafts. In January, one of the Toddler and Me classes is making an igloo out of sugar cubes and cotton balls.
Oh, fun.
Which is really, really fun.
Yeah.
The Science Center is the same way. We have different camps and classes, usually on the weekends, designed for older kids between the ages of maybe 7 and 12. And they do things like build rockets that, not with fuel, but rockets out of paper and cardboard that we can launch with air. Or dissection is one of them that's very popular. Or building cars out of cardboard or planes out of cardboard and things like that. And they're open to anyone. So parents can join their children, or parents can, come to the Science Center and the parents can play while the kids are at the class. And so those happen usually every week at the Science Center, and you can find out about those on our website, which is mobiusspokane.org.
God, what a fabulous resource for
Oh,
our
yeah.
community.
It's
Yeah.
so great, and things change, regularly. So even if you've gone once this year, that doesn't mean that it's the same exhibits are there. There's some things that are there kind of permanently,
Yep.
and then there are things that are rotating through. And just like the library, there's always something new to check out.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah, we try to rotate things, major exhibits, on a quarterly basis, and we try to do it in such a way that the Children's Museum is changing at a different month that the Science Center is changing. So things are constantly moving.
Always fresh and,
Yeah.
and something new.
Right,
Gosh,
right. Always something new to
unbelievable.
try.
So exciting. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to come down. My husband and I are going to come down.
Yeah.
We'll be the gray-haired folks.
We'll go to the
down there
library
playing
and
with
check out a
stuff.
pass, and then come check it out.
and if
Come
you
on
want to
down.
borrow my kiddo,
That's right.
I
That's
might
right.
do that.
you may.
I might
You know
do that.
her,
We might
and
have
she
a
would
blast.
she would have a blast.
That's right.
What a great program. Let's talk about that once again. You can check out a
Yes.
pass to Mobius, both the Science Center
Yeah.
and the museum, at all 11 of our libraries.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Check it out just like a book. It
Right.
checks out for 7 days. One day you can take 2 adults, 4 kids,
That's right.
and hit both the museum and the Science Center.
That's
The
right.
same day. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, and Gwendolyn, talk a little bit about, because this actually, when Gwendolyn approached us, your idea for the library really being a center of resource.
Yeah, I think, for the library, we're always helping to connect people, and sometimes it's not a physical item on our shelf. Sometimes we're helping point people to a resource in the community or online. And so for us, being able to help people access what's available culturally in our museum and educationally is such a vital part of our mission. We want every kiddo,
Yep.
every adult to have all of the same opportunities available to them. And
absolutely.
so by working together with institutions like Mobius, we have the opportunity to kind of fling wide the doors of access to the community in a way that we haven't before.
Right.
And I think it's really exciting. And for Spokane, it's so great to see organizations that have similar missions pulling our resources and saying, we're better together. And we've worked
Yes.
with Mobius for a number of years, I should say, because every summer we have Mobius come out and do a series of science shows in the libraries, again, to give access to kids in all parts of our community, whether they're in a very rural part of Spokane County or, right in the middle of the suburbs like I am, that we want every kid to have the same access. And the library is a really that's a singular mission that we have as an organization, is to provide access
Yeah.
to everyone.
Yeah. And Mobius is, we're so excited to be a part of that because we want as many people as possible to experience Mobius.
Sure.
So this partnership makes it possible for us to allow anyone who wants to check out these passes to come check it out. So
Yeah.
we're really, really excited about it. And, the passes are easy to get. They actually come in a DVD case.
Yes.
So you just grab it, you scan it, and you put it in your bag, and off you go.
There you go. Yes.
Take
So,
that
yeah.
into Mobius and they
Yes.
scan it,
Yeah.
and you're in.
Yes.
It's easy, and with 11 library locations, there's 11 passes, and you can pick up the phone and call the library in the morning and say, "Hey, do you have a museum pass available?" And then come down and pick it up. You've got 7 days to plan your trip to check out Mobius and everything that's going on down there.
Yes, it's fabulous. We first announced this program a couple days ago on Facebook, and our responses have been awesome.
People are thrilled.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
thrilled.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, I saw that was down there, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. But this is the little push that says there's no reason not to."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
so-
think once people go down, and if they haven't visited, or even if they have, but it's been a while,
Right.
I think a lot of times people will see like, oh, this isn't a one and done
Yeah.
sort of event.
Sure.
This is something that, just like the library, you can make a regular part of your family's
Sure.
educational opportunities and just routine. And it's so great to have that chance as a family to do something together that's not passive, that's active and engaging.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes, engaging and fun. A little bit of education snuck
right.
in there,
Exactly.
and it is a family thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned, you could all go to a movie, you all sit in a row, you all stare at a screen, or you can all go together and interact
Right.
and learn something. So that's great. This program is not. It's a partnership, but like you said, it's not new. Mobius has always come out and done things during our summer programming.
Yeah.
So we've helped Mobius come out to the various parts of the community, and now we're helping people come to
Right.
Mobius
Yeah.
as well.
Exactly.
So
That's
it's
great.
working both ways.
Yeah.
How perfect.
Yeah.
How perfect. We should be done for the day, right?
Yes.
It's great.
All
Exactly.
right.
We're
Job well
both
done.
fulfilling on our mission that way. It's great.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming down and talking about this and very exciting program, and we're just getting started. Who knows what it'll bring from here, and who knows what kind of new scientists or new engineers are going to come out of this.
Sparking something new in the imagination.
All it
Yeah.
takes is dissecting one squid.
That's right. That's right. So go to the library, get those passes, and come down and say hi.
That sounds great. All right. Again, thank you, Kevin, for joining
Thank you.
us.
Glad to be
And
here.
thank you, Gwendolyn, for coming down on this snowy day. And for Library Out Loud, I'm Jane Baker. We'll see you next time.
Library Out Loud is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Ask a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Library Out Loud is brought to you by the Spokane County Library District and STCU. Go visit and explore your local library today.